Okay, now we want to talk about intrusive, and another name for this is plutonic igneous features. So what can the magma make when it's inside the earth and it hardens? Well, one thing it can do is the original magma chamber can harden into a rock, and then as erosion occurs, erosion is going to lower the surface of the ground until it finally comes in contact with this old magma chamber, which is now solid rock. And then as that solid rock is exposed, it's going to look like a series of bulbous mountains. And we're going to call those things batholiths. So you can see there's a picture of what a batholith is going to look like when it's eroded up to the surface. Now, a laccolith, on the other hand, is going to be whenever you've got parallel layers of rock, and then when the magma, what it does is it kind of makes a blister. So the blister pushes apart those layers, and then what you end up with, that thing is going to be called a laccolith, and that's going to be smaller than a batholith. But they're still pretty big. So these things could be kilometers in diameter versus the batholith might be 100 kilometers in diameter. So they're very, very big. Okay, then you could also have situations in which instead of making a blister, making a bulge, maybe the lava just filled in the cracks there in between those layers. Okay, so that then is going to be called a sill. So think about a window sill. A window sill is flat, so that sills tend to be flat. Now these things, they could be maybe a meter in thickness or 2 meters in thickness, but they're nothing like the size of a laccolith or a batholith. You could also have where instead of being parallel to these planes, the lava or the magma could cut across like this. Okay, so if it's cutting across, then that's going to be called a dike. And then when those things are eroded to the surface, it's kind of like, it's going to make a chain, almost like the back of a dinosaur or a dragon or something like that. So there's a picture of what a dike looks like when it's eroded down to the surface and it's poking up out of the ground. So those are some different examples of things that can be formed inside the ground, hardens, and then due to rain and snow, wind and ice, the ground is eroded away until finally those volcanic features start to poke up out of the ground. All right, so that's it. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will do our lesson quiz.